Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host, the Landscapers coach, and today I'm talking about having done nothing over the Easter holidays. So, if this resonates with you, let's go to the show.
As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hi guys, how are you? Are you back from Easter holidays yet, or have you just gone into Easter holidays, or are you looking at the end of the Easter holidays and everyone going back to school? For me, down south, we have just day one of the kids being back at school, day one of being in a more normal routine, and day one of getting back to work. For the last 2 weeks, having been what I call the default parent in life, I have actually done little to no work, and it's quite frustrating, but it's not unusual. I've spoken to another client of mine, the woman part of the business, who also had said the same. They had done nothing over Easter, so they're feeling a bit bad about it. So that's why I wanted to record this podcast, because at the end of the day, there are some times in life when you just have to, as my husband calls it, take one for the team. And if it means you don't get something done, you don't get something done. What's the worst that can happen? Now, what is concerning is the fact that obviously having done nothing for 2 weeks means that I have a list as long as my arm to get on with. I have things that should have been done weeks ago that haven't been. One of them is cash flow forecasting. Sorry if you didn't hear that, cash flow forecasting. And that is starting to stress me out and is at the back of my mind every day. But as being a business owner, not everything that you want to get done, you can get done in certain days, because you might be firefighting, you might be pulled away into some issue that's happened. Today, for me, a new starter started. So it was a day of kind of welcoming them into the business and setting up computers and stuff. I couldn't get what I wanted to get done today, not just because of that, but also excitingly, we picked up a new car. And then, of course, it's school pickup all over again. So it feels like the time is flying and there's never enough time to get the things you want to get done. And I think what I want to share with you today is that you're not alone, that I also feel this way. Even as a business coach, I know what needs to be done in my business. I know exactly the steps I need to take. I know what is important, what isn't. I know about time management. I know about goal setting, all of these things, but it still doesn't mean that I've got my shit together all of the time. So I wanted to share that with you because I haven't at this moment in time, because I am 2 weeks behind due to the holidays. I had zero help from grandparents. They don't really like going in what is called after school clubs or holiday clubs. So it's really quite difficult to keep everybody happy. Obviously, Mike has to go to work. There are multiple jobs that are open at the moment that he has to go on, and also push along jobs that the other teams are on. So there was never any question that I was going to be the one that did the childcare side of things. And I don't mind. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'm very happy being the mum, but I also know this does impact on the business, how we get forward quicker, because I'm forever held back for periods of time when I can't put any focus on to working on the business. I could get little bits done. I could respond to emails. I could contact inquiries. I could liaise with my admin lady, Anne-Marie. Thank the Lord for Anne-Marie, because she has been able to continue to do invoicing and job costings and quotes while I have been out of the office. And I've been able to continue to do social and things like that, but I haven't really been able to get really stuck in and move forward on the goals that we set at the beginning of the year. I'm looking to my right and I've got 3 A3 whiteboard sheets up that we did a session with a very good friend of ours who's a very successful business person. And we did a goal strategy session basically to try and see where we are and really get clear as a couple and business partners in our vision and our mission and our exit plans and how we're going to get there and what our objectives are and what timelines do these follow. And it was a great session and it really inspired us, fired us up. But looking at the objectives, I have not achieved one of them at all, which is quite depressing. And it's quite hard then and demotivating to get back into it. So what can happen often is you can fall into a very negative mindset. I've had 3 conversations this week, if you include my husband, where everyone wants to jack it all in. It's too much like hard work. But at the end of the day, we all go through periods like this. We come out the other side because as business owners, we're resilient. As business owners, we like to work for ourselves. We like the benefits that it brings as well as the negatives that it brings. We just have to ride them out. And I think it's really important that at this time, whenever you're feeling that way as a business owner, that you dip into your bag of tricks or things that you can do to inspire yourself again, re-inspire, re-motivate, put you back on track in a positive mental attitude. Now, one of my clients started listening to Bob Proctor. He's all about manifestation. I think the guy's amazing and he has really inspiring speeches. So one of my clients who was feeling that way started listening to that, signed up for a 5-day manifestation course thing, a free course, and is starting to feel a lot more positive. Myself, I've started my gratitude journaling again each evening, where I basically write down 3 or 4 things that I'm grateful for each and every day and why. That tends to keep us in a much more positive mindset. It allows us to reflect back on the day. And there is always something to be grateful for that you have in your life, and why you are grateful for it, how that impacts on your life as well. It's a really good way to just change those potentially negative thoughts into positive thoughts, particularly before you go to sleep. It's a really nice end to the day. It takes about 2 minutes, maybe 5 if you're thinking a bit more about it. But I extended that challenge to another client of mine today. So we'll see if that helps turn his mindset around. But it's true, you've got to think of ways to keep yourself motivated if you are feeling a slump. Or if, like me, you feel a little bit overwhelmed because you have a crushing load of to-dos where you haven't had the time and space to do it for whatever reason. For me, it's holidays, childcare. For you, maybe you've been ill, maybe your family has needed you a bit more. Maybe you just haven't been able to do anything on the business because you've been too engrossed working in the business. Whatever resonates with you, think about how you can schedule some time, because the next step I'm going to do, I started my gratitude stuff yesterday. I've printed out a weekly schedule, which is here, and I'm going to map out the rest of my week according to my plans and try and get some bits done that are key. One of those key items, and like I said, nobody's perfect, least of all me, is cash flow forecasting. So no matter how much I bang on to you guys and how much I know it's super important, sometimes even important things in business like that just get waylaid. Now, I can blame lots of reasons why, but much of it is Mike's been working away. So we haven't been able to sit down and look at income and outgoings over the next few months. But it is something that I am now looking to give to my very capable and very important member of staff, Anne-Marie. Same as I realized today, having listened to one of my motivational things is to listen to Brendan Burchard's Growth Day. It's a podcast, not a podcast, it's an app. And he does a daily fire and it's pretty inspiring and motivational. And it's really good to pick you up if you're ever feeling pretty down. And I was on the Stairmaster doing my 30 minutes of cardio, which is hell on earth for me. I hate every minute of it. I don't feel motivated to do it. In fact, I feel like giving up before I've even stepped on the bloody machine. But I put on Brendan Burchard Daily Fire, and that helped me get through the first 25 minutes of that cardio workout. And it also got me thinking about why we don't get stuff done and why fear exists. And one of the things I identified in my life, which might be applicable to you and your business and your life, is mine is a process-based fear. I am fearful of the process being really hard. So what happens is you put things off because it's going to be hard. So you don't have, say, conversations with people because it's going to be difficult. So therefore, things don't change, or people don't know what you want them to do, or you haven't had that difficult conversation with someone who's not pulling their weight, etc., because it's too difficult. So you don't do it. You don't, I don't know, finish writing that book because you're too scared to do it because it's too difficult to sit there and actually write a chapter of the book. Maybe it's too difficult to put in place the processes you need to come out of the business. That's certainly true for me. I need to get these processes in place. I've started with systemology. The processes have been started. We just need to embed them. Now, it feels like a massive mountain to climb, and it feels like it's going to take ages. It's going to be too difficult, and therefore it gets put off. So it doesn't get done as quickly as it should do. Now, the thing with process-based fear items is that once you actually start them, they're easy and you wish you'd done them like years ago, months ago, weeks ago, whatever it might be. So for me, having identified that through listening to this motivating podcast, Daily Fire, is that I realize I am putting some things off because it's difficult. I realize I am putting some of these process-based things off because I am scared it's going to be too hard. So what I need to do is put some of those fear items on the agenda for this week and try and tackle at least one thing. At least one thing a week would make me feel a lot better. So that's all I wanted to come tell you, is that it's very real that nobody's perfect. It's very real that you might be feeling a bit behind, you might be feeling overwhelmed like me, but know that you are not alone. And please do reach out if you want any help. So that's me for this week. I'll see you next time on the Limitless Landscapers podcast.